kertas atau dua, and you put here notes. Okay, reinforce. If you're doing it in BM, perkukuhan. Okay, memperkukuhkan. Okay, per. Like that. Okay, so we start. Now, in bab 2, so bab 2, chapter 2 in English. The main topics that we have in chapter 2, you should know all the topics. This is part and parcel of reinforcement. Yeah, if I ask you what are the topics in chapter 2, you should know every topic. If you don't know every topic, I'm very sorry to say this to you. Number one, you're not serious about practicing for your SPM. That's the truth. How can you study a chapter and then after that tell me, oh, I don't know the topics in the chapter? The idea is when you're doing the SPM or doing any exam, later on at university, wherever you are, you see a question, you should know this is from this chapter, this is the concept. Okay? So that's the first thing I'm telling you. Make sure you know all the topics. Yeah? So the topics that we have in chapter 2 are, the first one is perubahan keadaan. Okay, I'm just going to put perubahan, which is in English change of state. Okay, and then from change of state, we have the graphs. Yeah, we have the graphs, where the graph for heating, pemanasan, and for cooling, penyejukan. So we have to be able to understand the graphs and explain the graphs. So that's where we're going to begin, right? At this perubahan keadaan and the change of state. Now, when we have the graphs here, we need to understand that for change of state, so I'll switch colors, right? In your notes, you just pull an arrow to the side, like this, and you continue. So the paper doesn't have to end here. You should always do in the middle of the paper, so you can put all your material around it. So when we have change of state, bila kita ada perubahan keadaan, there are two types. Satu is serap haba, absorb heat. And satu is bebas. The other one, which is release heat. So from here, what we need to be able to do is you should be able to sketch the curve, lengkung. Contoh for absorb, your lengkung should be something like this. Here is lebo, melt. And here is dide, boil. Yep. Alright, now if you're doing it in English, you write in English. If you're doing in BM, you should be writing it in BM. You should know the keadaan in each place. Here is solid, here is liquid, here is gas. You should know that this is the boiling, melting point. Takat lebo. You should know that this is the boiling point. Takat dide. You should know, there are a lot of things you should know. This is what practice brings. So until at the beginning you might not know something, you might forget. But if you keep practicing it every week, by the time we reach the SPM, which is in March next year, you should know everything because you've done it 20, 30, 40 times. That is the idea of reinforcement. Yeah? Every Saturday, you should be sitting there and reinforcing. Doesn't matter what we are doing here, you should be doing all your main core subjects on the Saturday and Sunday if you don't have enough time. So, over here, we should have solid and liquid. Up here, we should have liquid and gas. Pepejal dan cecair, cecair dan gas. Seperti itu. Then we should know things about the curve. They're going to ask us general questions. They're going to ask us, okay, number one, here, this area here, why the temperature never change? For the heating curve. So we must know here why the temperature is constant. In BM, kenapa suhu mala? Like that. So we've got to know that. Right? So, now that you know that, you got to know why the temperature is constant, kenapa suhu malar, you all have to be able to explain it. Right? Semua haba yang diserap, all the heat absorbed, haba serap mengatasi DT, daya tarikan. Okay, the heat absorbed is to overcome the force of attraction. Force of attraction, write in short form. Another thing that you all have to learn to do. When you all are writing and reinforcing, no need to write full sentences. You all should be practicing how to answer questions, but that one you do when you're doing and practicing paper. Now, you're not practicing papers, right? So, you can write in short form. Haba diserap diguna untuk mengatasi daya tarikan. The heat absorbed is used to overcome forces of attraction. So, in the notes that I sent to you, you fill in all the little boxes that I put there later. So, that's for you to practice. Okay? Then, you need to know how to explain. SPM likes to ask you like this. So if we look at the curve, SPM likes to ask you to explain this whole area here. They like to ask you to explain in terms of susunan, arrangement. So now, here is pepejal, solid. So we know the zarah-zarah adalah rapat. Okay, so kita ada rapat. In English, closely packed. Okay, then what else do we know? Okay, rapat teratur. Okay, then they will ask you dari segi pergerakan. So, dari segi pergerakan, motion, you got to say they vibrate, getar. Okay, di satu tempat. So, you know that they're going to vibrate. And then, you got to remember that in this area, the suhu naik. Okay, so the next thing they're going to ask you is about the suhu. So when your suhu naik, okay, getar lebih, like that. So when the temperature goes up, they vibrate more. Yeah, can you all see that? Sorry, maybe the screen is blocking a little bit. Okay, I just pull this down. So can you all see that? Yep, sorry about that. So when the temperature goes up, they vibrate more, like that. And then they will ask you maybe about the daya tarikan. So, you all have to think. In terms of daya tarikan, force of attraction, the zarah when they getar more, they're going to move away from each other. Menjauhi satu sama lain. Now, kalau dia menjauhi satu sama lain, mestilah daya tarikan kurang. Daya tarikan mengurang. The force of attraction goes down. So this is the main concept that we have, right, for the graph. Yeah, I know, guys. There's a lot of information that you all have to absorb. Banyak maklumat. Tetapi, what can you do? This is sains asas yang kamu mesti belajar now. So that bila kamu naik ke tingkatan 6, matrikulasi, universiti, bahan-bahan asas ini are inside your head. Kerana we need this bahan asas all the way. So now what you all have to do is this. Faham the concept. The concept is, di bumi kita, kita ada perubahan keadaan. Okay, on earth we have change of state. We know this. Benda melebur, benda mendidih, benda kondensasi. Yeah, we understand all of this. We can show it and study it with a graph like this. Yeah, understand? We need to be able to explain dari segi teori kinetik, from kinetic theory, what is happening to the particles the arrangement, the motion, susunan, pergerakan, daya tarikan. As the suhu naik, bila tukar keadaan, the suhu naik again dan seterusnya. We need to be able to explain all of that. So what we should do now is we need to practice it. So to practice it, what we're going to do is we're going to follow a great teacher of physics, and his name is Richard Feynman. And you can go and check. Richard Feynman. And Richard Feynman, basically like this, adalah cikgu yang paling cemerlang dari segi sains yang saya pernah lihat di dalam hidup saya. And what he said is this, it's very simple. Once you understand the concept, you look at the concept, you try to understand the concept. And then what you must do is, and I'm going to do this for all my reinforcement, because I think it is the best way. You all have to be able to verbalize it. Kamu mesti suarakan konsepnya. Kamu boleh suarakan konsep itu kepada sesiapa saja. Ayah, ibu. Just say to your ayah, saya kena practice ni. Okay, just say to your brother, bro, I've got to practice this. And bila kamu suarakan, when you verbalize it, you will hear what you are saying. And then, if there is a problem, kalau ada ruang-ruang, gaps, where you cannot remember, you can check the material again and then try again. What I like to do is an activity. So when I was doing my SPM, semasa ada dinosaur di bumi, what I did was, for a concept like this, I would write it out and then I would do an activity. Now the activity that I did, which I do till today whenever I'm trying to remember something and put it in my head, is I juggle with just 2 objects. I'm not going to juggle with 3 objects, just 2. So I throw the object up, and as I'm doing that, I try to do this. So, first, this part here. Why is the temperature constant? The temperature is constant because all the heat, never mind if it falls, not important, all the heat absorbed is used to overcome the forces of attraction. Semua haba yang diserap diguna untuk mengatasi daya tarikan antara zarah. Then, I pick up my thing. Then I go to the next part. I want to do this area here where the temperature is rising. I say to myself, saya nak huraikan, I want to explain dari segi susunan, pergerakan, daya tarikan. Susunan pepejal. Zarah rapat, berduduk di satu tempat, teratur, bergetar di satu tempat. And then, dari segi pergerakan. Bila suhu naik, tenaga kinetik zarah naik. Zarah bergetar dengan lebih cepat. Dari segi daya tarikan, zarah menjauhi satu sama lain, daya tarikan menjadi lemah. Like that. And then, saya dah buat tu. So now, I've got this. I did it 1 time. Then, I will try to repeat it 1 more time. Then, I will check to see, ada tak benda saya terlupa? Is there anything I forgot to put in there? Am I going to get 6 marks, 5 marks, 10 marks? So, you always give yourself 5 marks. Am I going to get 5 marks? Did I say rapat? Yes. Okay, I'm okay. Did I say orderly, teratur? Yes. Okay. Did I say they vibrate in a fixed position? Yes. Did I say bila suhu naik, getaran menjadi lebih cergas? Yes. Did I say zarah menjauhi satu sama lain, maka daya tarikan mengurang? Yes. So now I know that I'm remembering it. So, not remembering it, I beg your pardon. I'm understanding it and I'm able to verbalize it. Then I repeat. You understand? Now maybe I will go on to the next topic. Right? But after 1 week, I will come back to this. And then I will do it again. And hopefully I can do it faster and a bit faster So within that 1 hour, which is the time that we are here now, within that 1 hour, I can study close to 20, 30 topics. Because in reality, it only takes about 20 to 30 seconds, 1 minute, to verbalize a chemistry concept. Everyone understand? So this is the first one that we're doing. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to take a 5-minute break. So during this 5-minute break, please listen to me. This is really important, right? I want you all to go and freak out your parents by saying, where is the broom? Take the broom. You understand the broom? Take the broom. Take the dustpan. Sweep the floor wherever you are doing this lesson. You understand? And while you're sweeping the floor, practice this. First, why is the temperature constant? Practice that. Number 2, practice the temperature going up in the first area here. Everyone understand that? Do it 2 or 3 times, right? And then afterwards, when you sit down, after you finish sweeping, right, and putting the broom and everything away, you sit down and see whether you can write this out as an answer in the SPM. Now, let's take a break and please listen to what I'm asking you to do. And then go and do it. Okay? I see you in 5 minutes. So, how was the sweeping? Ya, macam mana menyapu? Did you all practice? Now, try to faham that first time kamu buat, not mungkin, more than likely, ya, kemungkinan besar, kamu akan lupa bahagian-bahagian. Tetapi, don't stop. Ya, faham, jika gagal, bagus. Bermaksud kamu telah cuba. Tapi, jangan takut gagal lagi. Faham? Lebih banyak kamu gagal, bermaksud lebih banyak kamu telah cuba, and then, akhirnya kamu akan mendapat. The more you try, the more you fail, the better you're going to get at it. Until at the end, you will not fail anymore because you start to understand it. And you're not afraid to try. So this is very important. Verbalization, yeah, the Feynman technique is very, very important. I truly believe in it. So, let's go back. When we look at Bab 2, Chapter 2, the first thing was the perubahan keadaan, the change of state, perubahan. I just put here change. You see, we can go shorter now because you'll understand what perubahan and change mean. Then, you'll understand the lengkung. You'll understand the curve. We did the heating curve just now. You should also be able to do the cooling curve. Lengkung penyejukan. So, lengkung penyejukan, which is for kondensasi. And beku, pembekuan, freezing. Now, this curve looks a bit different. We're coming down. And again, here we need to be able to explain. Ya, kita mesti boleh terangkan perubahan-perubahan. Saya rasa, I hope, you all should be able to explain what is going on. Why? Here, mala. Okay, why the temperature is constant. Alright, I think the red pen is dead, so we won't use it anymore. So why here is mala? Okay, so here, haba, bebas, the heat released, diimbang. Okay, is balanced oleh haba yang dihasilkan by the heat produced bila ikatan dibuat. So again, yep, the heat released is balanced by the heat produced when bonds are made. So you should know that. Yep, again, boleh, can practice, no problem. Yeah, I hear what some of you are saying. How to remember what to practice? How to remember what to practice? Well, I will show you in a minute how to remember what to practice. Yeah, okay. Then you should also be able to explain the changes here as the temperature is coming down. Again, you must be able to explain from the point of the arrangement. Okay, arrangement, your force of attraction, daya tarikan. Yeah, you should also be able to explain in terms of your pergerakan, motion. Like that. So, arrangement, motion, daya tarikan. So, try and understand what's happening. Here we have gas, here we have liquid, here we have solid. So now we are in the world of liquid. So you'll think about what is inside the liquid. Yeah. So in the liquid, the particles are closely packed but not orderly. Rapat tetapi tidak teratur. Dari segi pergerakan, bila suhu mengurang, now the temperature is coming down. Bila suhu mengurang, tenaga kinetik mengurang. The kinetic energy is decreasing. Zarah bergerak because we are a liquid. Yep, the particles are moving. Zarah bergerak dengan lebih perlahan dan mendekati satu sama lain. That means they're moving closer to each other. And then, if they're moving closer to each other, how? The daya tarikan. Daya tarikan menjadi kuat. Like that. So, you can practice that again. Yeah? One more time. Arrangement. Rapat, tidak teratur. Suhu mengurang, tenaga kinetik mengurang. Maka, zarah bergerak dengan lebih perlahan dan mendekati satu sama lain. Daya tarikan meningkat. The force of attraction increases. Okay? Very good. Then, after we have done this part, which is the kinetic theory part of our chapter 2, we move to the next part of chapter 2, which is about the particles, the zarah itself. Because it's very important that we understand about the zarah. Now, in terms of the zarah, you're going to hear soalan about the zarah all the time. Yeah? And when you get these questions about the zarah all the time, you'll have to be ready. Yep. So in terms of the zarah, we have three types of main zarah, three types of main particles. We have atom, we have molecule, and we have ion. You must know the bahan, the substance that contains atoms, molecules, and ions. Okay? It is very related. Let me give you an example. Okay? Now you're in Form 4, Form 5 already, right? And there are questions that come from Chapter 3, which is our mole calculation chapter, which hopefully we will reach today. And in the mole calculation chapter, there are questions there where we are basically saying to you, can you tell me which of the following, A, B, C, D, has got 1 mole of atom? And then you're like, huh? Or they will say has got 6.023 times 10 to the power 23 atoms. Or 6.023 times 10 to the power 23 molecule. Macam mana saya nak tahu? You see, all you are looking at is the mole. And your otak is saying 1 mole ada 6.023 kali 10 kuasa 23. And then the jawapan, A is 1 mole, B is 1 mole, C is 1 mole, D also is 1 mole. And now you're blur. You're like, hey, all also got 1 mole. What you never look at, what you didn't notice, is the type of zarah. They are asking you about atom, molecule, and ion, which means that you must know bahan, substances that contain atoms, molecules, and ions. And you have to apply this all the way in physics. This concept is in Chapter 2, Chapter 3, Chapter 4, Chapter 5, Chapter 6, Chapter 7, Chapter 8, Chapter 9, Form 5, all the chapter. you must know what contains. Yeah, so I'm not going to say it anymore. I'm telling you how important it is. If you don't want to realize it, okay, so who have atoms? Metal and noble gas. They contain atoms. Who have molecules? Non-metal, like that. Or any compound. Compound, sebatian, with non-metal, like carbon dioxide. Carbon is non-metal, oxygen also is non-metal. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. And ion. Ion must be when in the compound a metal join with a non-metal, where the metal will become the positive ion and the non-metal will become the negative ion. So you got to know this. So if I say words like iron to you, you go iron, metal, atom. If I say to you nitrogen, you go nitrogen, non-metal molecule. If I say to you copper sulfate, copper, metal, sulfur, non-metal, oxygen, non-metal, must be ion. You cannot just sit there and look at the bahan and go, You need to know your substances. Yeah, you got to know what is a metal, what is a noble gas, what is a non-metal, right? You got to know them and be able to identify them when a name is given to you. I say ammonia. You should know ammonia is NH3. Non-metal molecule. Like that. I say to you neon. Noble gas. Contain atoms. Like that. You got to know the type of particle contained in that substance. Everyone clear with this? So again, how do you practice this? Using the Feynman technique. So it's not hard. You take your broom. Everyone, the broom's still there, right? Get that broom. Okay? Or take a pen. Yeah? And just toss the pen from one to the other. Like that. So, atom. Metals, noble gas. Repeat with me. Atom, metals, and noble gas. Molecules, non-metals or compounds containing non-metals like carbon dioxide, CO2, ammonia, NH3, and ions made from the metal combining with non-metal. Metal, non-metal. One more time. Atoms, metal, noble gas. Molecules, non-metal elements or compounds containing non-metals. Ions, metal, and non-metal. Now in BM. Atom, logam, gas nadir. Molecule, bukan logam, dan sebatian yang mengandungi bukan logam. Ion, bila logam bergabung dengan bukan logam. Like that. So you practice it. Yeah, there is not one thing that you all have to practice, right? Every chapter got about 4 or 5 or 6 things that you have to verbally practice. Okay? Alright. Now that is the particles. Then that brings us to the next part. And the next part got 3 bits to it. Okay? So in the next part of the chapter, which is the last part of the chapter, we need to know about the atomic structure, okay? We need to know about electron arrangement, and we need to know about isotopes. Kita mesti tahu mengenai struktur atom, susunan elektron dan isotop kita. Jadi, kita mulalah dengan struktur atom. Jadi, kita semua tahu Ya, saya harap kita semua tahu. Just give me 1 second, I get the pemadam. Kita semua tahu bahawa struktur atom ada sejarah, ya, bagaimana kita telah faham mengenai struktur atom kita. Mula-mula kita ada Dalton. Dalton kata sfera. Dalton said it was a sphere yang tak boleh dipecah. Tapi kita tahu sekarang kita boleh pecahkan dia. Kemudian kita ada J.J. Thomson. J.J. Thomson telah kata we have a sfera bercas positif dengan kawasan negatif. Macam itu. Kemudian kita ada Rutherford. So, you take your model and then you ubahlah the model. Draw another one. Rutherford kata kita ada nukleus yang amat kecil, bercas positif, kebanyakan jisim di dalam sana, dan di sekelilingnya kita ada cas negatif yang mengisi ruang kosong. Like that. That's Rutherford. Then dari Rutherford, kita pergi ke Niels Bohr yang kata kita ada nukleus yang kecil, bercas positif, yang mengandungi kebanyakan jisim. Okay, a small, tiny, positively charged nucleus, and around it kita ada petala, shells. And di dalam petala ini ada elektron yang boleh bergerak. Macam itu. And then akhirnya kita ada Chadwick. Dan what Chadwick kata to us was, inside the nucleus ada proton dan neutron. The nucleus masih lagi bercas positif, tetapi now we have another zarah subatomic. So we got proton, neutron, electron. These are our zarah subatomic. And then you give the sifat-sifat of the zarah. Proton is bercas positif, jisim is 1 AMU atau 1 U. Neutron is neutral. Jisim is lebih kurang sama with the proton. And then electron is bercas negatif and the jisim is 0.0005 U. Macam itu. So, we know the structure of the atom, we know the sejarah. Right? Then we know about the zarah subatomic. We know their lokasi in the nucleus or in the petala. We know their charges like that. So, whenever a soalan comes to you, dalam ujian seperti dikata, namakan 2 zarah subatomik dan beri ciri-cirinya. Proton, neutron. Proton bercas positif, jisim 1 AMU atau 1 U. Neutron, neutral, jisim 1 U. Macam itu. Lokasi kedua-dua dijumpai di dalam nukleus. Like that. So now you know that already. Okay? Then you can move on kepada the susunan elektron. Tapi before we go to the susunan elektron, there are 1-2 benda lain yang kita patut tahu. We need to know that unsur-unsur kita diletak di dalam satu kotak which is called the symbol. The symbol of an element. And in the symbol of an element, katakan saya the element X, we have a nombor di atas A which is known as the nombor nukleon, which is proton campur neutron. And we have another nombor dekat bawah here which is known as the nombor proton. Ini sangat penting because we know that proton mesti sama dengan elektron. So if I have 12 proton, it means saya ada 12 elektron. If I have 15 proton, I have 15 elektron. If I have 50 proton, I have 50 elektron. So, from the symbol, kita mendapat maklumat yang amat penting. Okay, we get information that is very important to us as a chemist because we are told, kita diberitahu, right, about the bilangan proton, neutron dan elektron di dalam atom sesuatu unsur. Okay, the protons, neutrons and electrons in the atom of an element, which is very important because it allows us to understand a lot of the sifat kimia, the chemical properties of that element. So, again, you need to practice this verbally. Yeah, and again, you're saying to me, how to remember all of this? Oh my God. So, what you got to do is, at the beginning, right, be relaxed. Go take your piece of paper, like that. Write on the paper, bab 2. Write on the paper here, perubahan, change. Write on the paper, lengkung. Okay, draw the lengkung. And put here, explain, explain. A, B, like that. So you're explaining it. Then repeat for the cooling curve. Yeah? Then explain for your particles. So you tulis sini zarah. Then you go underneath and you put the atom, sejarah atom. And then underneath you can put struktur atom. Struktur. And then you can put subatomic. Then you can put the symbol. Like that. So now that you have all of this written out, you can try and explain it. Yeah? Okay? I'm not sure how much time I have left. Okay? But let me show you what I mean. And this is how you can, like I said, by the time we get to the end of our chemistry, which will take us a few months, yeah? Okay, you would have practiced this so many times, you can do it without even writing this down. So, let's go over it. Perubahan, changes. You do with me. We have absorb heat, meresap haba, which is lebur didih. Also, you can say penyejatan. Also, you can say sublimation, pemejal wapan. Okay? You can say from the lengkung, haba mala, the temperature is constant kerana semua haba yang diserap diguna untuk mengatasi daya tarikan. Okay? All the heat absorbed is used to overcome the force of attraction. Now, this bahagian here. So, the first one, susunan. Rapat, teratur. Closely packed, orderly. And then, dari segi pergerakan. Bila suhu meningkat, tenaga kinetik meningkat, zarah bergetar dengan lebih cepat dan menjauhi satu sama lain. Daya tarikan menjadi lemah. Then you move on. Zarah. Okay? Atom, logam, gas nadir. Molekul, bukan logam dan sebatian yang mengandungi bukan logam seperti karbon dioksida. Karbon bukan logam, oksigen bukan logam. Ion dibuat daripada gabungan atau ikatan antara logam dan bukan logam. Then we go to the sejarah atom. Kita ada Dalton, sfera yang tidak boleh dibahagi. Kita ada Thomson, sfera bercas positif dengan kawasan negatif. Kita ada Rutherford, nukleus yang amat kecil, bercas positif yang mengandungi jisim, kebanyakan jisim, dan ruang kosong diisi dengan cas negatif. Niels Bohr, sekali lagi, nukleus amat kecil bercas positif yang mengandungi kebanyakan jisim dengan petala-petala yang mengandungi elektron yang bergerak. And then Chadwick, nukleus mengandungi proton dan neutron. Zarah subatomic, we have 3 subatomic. The proton, which is positive, that has a mass of 1 U or 1 AMU. The neutron, which is neutral, that has a mass of 1 or 1 AMU. The electron, which has got a negative charge, which has a mass of 0.0005 AMU or U. Okay, or sometimes we say 1/1840 of a proton. Like that. So, now, in the symbol, the A value is the nucleon number, that is the number of protons and neutrons in the nucleus. And the Z is the proton number, which is also equal to the electron number. Now, I think that took me about 2 minutes. And in 2 minutes, I've got through most of the chapter. Now, what you all are saying is you want to read the chapter. You want to read page by page page. Underline every single thing that's there. Gang. You're trying to remember and memorize the entire book. That's not the way. The way to do it is to see if you understand a concept. And if you understand a concept, jika kamu faham, kamu boleh menyuarakan benda tersebut. You can verbalize it. And that's what you do. Because you may see, in 3 minutes, you can do chapter 2. In 30 minutes, you can do 10 chapters. All the main information is in your head. Yes, you cannot put everything into the verbalization. But there are other things you will know, right? So when you're doing the questions, other things that they ask you, you're going, oh yeah, I remember this. In fact, I understand this from the chapter. Because if it's like this, I should be able to do it. And like I said, practice, perkukuhan, reinforcement. If we can keep doing this every single week, yeah, every week, we do it together, right? If I'm not here, you will be sent the material to do. I will send the material to you for the first few weeks like this, so that you know what to do. You're sitting at home, kamu duduk di rumah, kamu dah buat kamu punya kelas matematik dan ekonomik dan sebagainya. Okay, then you take out that kertas, you look at the first tajuk, yeah. If there is no one to help you, put your phone there. You people can do TikTok. Do lah TikTok. Do as many TikTok as you can on perkukuhan. Then every SPM student is all watching TikTok about lengkung pemanasan. And then you see lah who can do the best lengkung pemanasan. Lengkung, pepejal, semua zarah rapat, teratur. Ya, bila suhu naik, tenaga kinetik naik. Zarah bergetar lebih cepat dan menjauhi satu sama lain. Daya tarikan mengurang. You can do TikTok also. As long as you do it every week, you will get better and better. Now, today we wanted to do chapter 2 until chapter 4. Yeah? Never mind. We did chapter 2 until the symbol. Sorry, I was pointing here, but we're here. Kita dah buat sampai symbol. So, dalam 2 minggu, I will continue from here to the next perkukuhan. The next things that I want you to do. Everyone understand? And then slow and steady, we will get through the whole syllabus. You and me, with iTTV, right? We will be able to get you to do your SPM to the best of your ability.
Belajar online je paling senang dan efektif. Jangan tunggu lagi dan daftar sekarang di ittv.com.my.